Okay, we be on our way.
Yeah, we're back at it again with another magazine. This time we're going to be reading Game Fan.
Die Hard Game Fan, baby. Look at this. We got
June 1994. The best game to ever hit a screen.
It's Earthworm Jim, apparently. You know, it's obviously a fun play there, but they got their Game Fan screen character getting punched in the face by Earthworm Jim. And you know what? Game Fan's grotesque art style kind of works for Earthworm Jim.
Yeah. What was the guy that did the art? Like Terry Wolfinger? The guy that did all their art? I think that's who it was.
Maybe. Yeah, I forget his name. But yeah.
Got some good stuff. Yeah, 32-bit system shootout. So we're kind of moving into the next
Final
generation.
Fantasy 6 is listed there.
Yep. Wait till we get to it. Or is it? Oh, it's 6 as a new release.
Yep. Cool. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Virtua Racing.
Have you done You've not done a video on that, have you?
Not on Virtua Racing specifically.
Look at that ad.
Look at that. That's a crazy one.
It's premium. It doesn't even have a screenshot. Actually, you know, it doesn't even matter. It's not. It's like their characters.
Yeah, it's the game.
There's Posty right there.
They must have liked it so much. That's something else.
Darkwater. Oh, Pirates of Darkwater. I never played it.
It's a pretty ugly face on there.
Yeah.
With the snot coming out of his eye. This was like the era of Booger Man, I think.
Yep.
Whoa.
And it says
the King of the Monsters 2. Yeah, look at that.
we got Dave Halverson right here. This was often referred to as the mullet.
The mullet.
And he is...
The question is, can Dave Halverson's mullet compete with Jazz Rignall of the same era?
I don't know. I wonder if they were in a competition. I wonder if it was a thing that was discussed. You know, like...
I feel like it had to have been, like, UK versus US, like, who's got the most extreme mullet.
Yeah. Oh, see, there it is. Art director, Terry Wolfinger. Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's him. Cool. Right. Ninja Warrior from Taito.
Expensive game.
Yeah, that's right.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I like to play it on the SCDS NES. And it's here's Virtua Racing right here. This is kind of, we're getting into that period where this was very much a style of ad with having like the text like this.
Yep.
Like the different sizes of font
exactly.
for every single word.
Yep. And yeah, that's an impressive game. Though those screenshots, they're accurate, I think, because I can see the dithering in there. But they blew them up in such a way that you don't know that when you really play it, it's like in a smaller window with black borders around it.
Yeah.
So So, you know.
Would not look too appealing, like,
no.
In an ad, I guess.
Exactly. Either way, this is cool.
I mean, did this blow you away back in the day? I remember renting it and thinking, this is pretty cool, but...
It didn't blow me away, but in retrospect, it was quite impressive. I mean, it runs at double the frame rate of Star Fox and Stunt Race FX, and it's on the Genesis, so, you know, it's a much smoother polygonal game.
Yeah.
It's 15 frames per second.
Really?
Which is pretty fast for that era. And then, you know, the 32X version is 20 and looks much more detailed. So.
And the Saturn version is perfect?
Saturn version is 30, but it's that weird Time Warner published one that's kind of, it's not my favorite. It's a shame, though, there's a PS2 version which runs at 60 FPS.
Right.
But it is also a little bit strange.
Is a remake. It's part of the 2500, I think, right?
It is.
So it makes, so the one the M2 is working on right now, that's probably going to be the first kind of accurate home version.
Exactly, that should be and I hope they include a 60 FPS mode because the arcade game is not. Oh. It's a 30 FPS arcade game. I bet
you they do. It seems like something they do.
It really could benefit from it. But yeah, Virtua Racing.
That's cool. I mean, I wasn't a big driving game fan, so I saw something like this. Like, I rented it just because it was supposed to be...
Yeah, I played it at a friend's house, but I would not have purchased it because it was very expensive and low on content.
You know what I think? You know when I think I rented this game?
What?
I think I remember renting it the same day as the OJ White Bronco happened. I'm totally serious. Like, I remember...
That's such a weird...
It was either this game or Splatterhouse 2. Splatterhouse
2 makes more sense for that.
But I definitely rented this. Okay. I mean, I think that... Because I thought it was so... A friend of mine had his system hooked up to a stereo system.
Right.
And I was really jealous of it, so I found out a way to, like, run it into a boombox When the audience was a boombox and it sounded horrible.
The thing about this game, though, it was very expensive. If you bought it and then like a year later you bought the 32X, you couldn't play this anymore.
Oh, because of the pass-through wouldn't work.
You would have had to purchase the 32X version or unplug your 32X every time you want to play this version. It's an annoyance.
Yeah.
I actually have this cart still because I picked it up years later, and it's one of those things where I rarely use the real cart or play this version at all because of that fact, because I always have my 32X just installed. With those stupid metal brackets on there, it's just an annoying thing to
the metal brackets, I mean, is there even a real point to use them?
I don't know. I left
I don't
it
use
for
mine.
whatever reason. It's probably not necessary.
That's one of the reasons I hooked that system up, though.
Oh, yeah, I have a second one.
Most
the Lord
Wanted.
of the Rings.
Oh, yeah. Wanted. Volume 1. There's never going to be a lot Volume 2.
Their Most Wanted, of course.
Mortal Kombat 2
Road Rash 3DO's on there. You know, I'm surprised it's not higher, though. You know why? Comes in a long box.
But at the time, they didn't realize the importance.
That's true. They didn't get it yet.
They got Tempest 2000 for the Jag.
Tempest 2000, which has become better in time as a result of the rotary controller.
Yeah.
The rotary controller makes Tempest 2 or Tempest 2000
like the best version
to play. It's so fun. I really don't think it plays. Yeah, look, rotary controller enable. Go to the options screen, controller.
So they were planning a rotary controller. Came out?
It looks like they were planning the rotary controller, but it never shipped. So Jeff Minter was cool enough to put that feature in there to enable a rotary controller, and only years later did people implement a rotary controller.
That's fascinating.
So it's something that only became possible later on.
Yeah. And then here's Super Street Fighter 2. Super Street Fighter 2, I think at this point people were being like, okay, another home version. It's a little bit too much.
It was a bit much.
I still bought it, but I remember just getting sick of it really, really quick because I played the previous two so much. All right, here's Total Eclipse.
Oh, Total Eclipse. And look, there's different levels.
Oh, yeah. All they do is just change the color of the mountains.
It's a different texture.
And the
game doesn't change. The game never changes.
And Aladdin. Oh, is this? Oh, it's this SNES version.
NBA Jam for Game Gear. If you haven't played Jam It, get it. Introducing Jam It, the no rules, no stats, no stars, down and dirty, fast and loose, fun and wild, trash talking, rough 'em up and spit 'em out on the street. In your face, one-on-one 16 meg basketball video game.
Something got ripped out here.
Take a deep breath for that. Oh no.
I'm pretty sure this is my issue too.
Oh.
Tom K. Alley, but you know, Tom K. Alley was significant because it was the first game they have full screen, full FMV on the system.
And it came in a long box.
It did.
This is after the cardboard box era of Sega CD.
That's true, but it was after the
That's true.
Sega CD2 came
All video, full screen.
This is maybe the most common game on the system.
Is it?
I've seen it everywhere, and a lot of bundles on eBay will come with Tom K. Alley.
They even released a PC version of this.
Yeah.
For Windows.
I wonder how it is.
That's weird, because some of Sega's Windows games were super bizarre. Like, did you see Echo the Dolphin? The PC version has double the resolution of the pixel art. So it's actually a 640 by 480 pixel art game. So it's a high-res version of Echo the Dolphin.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's neat. It's like, wow, I can't believe they actually put the effort in to make this. Because most of their PC ports weren't like that.
Yeah.
But that specific one got a really nice high-res version.
That's interesting. I would never even know. Like, I don't even think about PC games very much from that time period, I guess.
I was getting into PC around 94, 95 in a big way, so I was always interested in seeing how the PC could handle console-style games.
That makes sense.
It was fascinating to me.
I have Thunderstrike.
I have Thunderstrike.
That's not a core game, though, is it? Yeah, it is. Core design.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. It makes sense. They did a lot of games like that. It's pretty good.
And then there's Super Empire. This game came out the same day as, I feel like my friend Eric got a Saturn the same day as I got that.
Wow, okay.
He's like, I got a Saturn. I was like,
I got The Empire Strikes Back. Oh. That was like, I remember that kind of arguments with friends. Like, I was excited because I got Final Fantasy VII, and then I called up a friend to tell him about it, And he was like, "Oh, but dude, I got Quest 64." And he was like talking like, "Quest 64, this is the shit." I'm just like, okay.
No, it's not. Troy likes to talk about Quest 64 being like not that bad of a game.
It's not that good.
But it was a mean for N64 fans. It was like a means to an end. It was like they needed something.
If you were an N64 fan starving for stuff like that, it was something.
I got Jungle Book, Streets of Rage 3.
Ooh. I can see those scores because Streets of Rage 3 is kind of a disappointment.
Yeah, the Japanese version is
Bare Knuckle 3. Yeah,
much better.
That's much better, I agree. Well, what's this? We got Wolfenstein 3D on the Jag here.
Yeah.
Tetsujin. On 3DO. I can't remember that one. Huh. Super Wing Commander.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they have Cotton in here. That's interesting. Yeah, this is Monster World 4 is reviewed?
Yeah, they reviewed Monster World 4. That's the reason I kind of had this out, is because this might have been on the top just because I was looking through it, looking for Monster World stuff. It's pretty impressive that they reviewed it in here, too.
Yeah, it's cool. What else we got?
But what's really interesting about it, though, is the fact that almost in all these reviews and later on in the big spread for it, they all call it Monster World 5.
Wasn't there like Wonder Boy 3 Monster World? Wait,
there was
Wonder Boy 5 Monster.
There was Wonder Boy 5 Monster World 3.
3, yes.
Like that's the actual title.
Yeah, that's the title.
But then this was Monster World 4 everywhere. Yeah. So I don't know where they were getting the Monster World 5. I mean, he calls it that. He calls it that there.
Huh, weird.
Yeah, his Virtua Racing was Game of the Month. 90.
Okay. Cool. Tempest 2000.
Do the math.
I've done the math and it doesn't add up. Oh, here we go. Shiny Entertainment.
Yeah. This is like spend the day with Dave Perry. What was it? What's he doing now?
That's wasn't.
I'm sure he's
involved
still
like Gaikai at some point, and then was sold to Sony. And I don't know.
Right.
I have no idea what he's doing today.
That's right. I remember. I forgot about Gaikai.
Shiny produced some cool stuff though.
They did. You ever played Wild 9?
Of course, I have an autographed copy by Tommy Tallarico.
Really? Kind of a cool, like kind of a hidden gem.
It is.
On the system.
I loved that back in the day. I owned that. It was. I remember getting that when I was getting into PlayStation again, after being into PC mostly.
Mm-hmm.
I picked that up because I remember shiny games like from Jim, and I really liked it.
Then they do MDK after that. Was that?
MDK was before Wild 9.
Okay.
And MDK was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did they do
Did they
do MDK 2 as well?
They didn't do that. BioWare made MDK 2.
Really?
Yep. That's why it's so different in tone.
Yeah.
It's a very different game. MDK has a really unique atmosphere and weirdness to it that's just unlike most games.
Do you think that the second one is not good?
I like the second one. I think it is good, but it's not. It doesn't have that same dark, weird humor that you get in the first one.
Yeah. All right, we got some more.
And Earthworm Jim at the time, and still today, it really truly looked unlike anything else.
Yeah.
Like really amazing. Just look at that. That's still.
Well, it's just that evolution of the Aladdin style.
Digital cell stuff.
Yeah.
Which again, Pitfall to Mine Adventure uses the same kind of thing. And there was a bunch of games. It was kind of a competing time where there was this, but then there was also the CGI stuff from Donkey Kong Country, which I think kind of won out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I can see why, because people were really impressed with the CGI stuff, and technically it was probably easier to do than, I don't know. It's not that making CGI characters back then would have been more difficult for sure, and the tools were very basic, but I can imagine doing a lot of hand-drawn animation stuff being more expensive.
Yeah.
Just in terms
Just
of the manpower required to do it.
Because once you have built it in 3D, I guess you could like maneuver it.
Yeah, you build the model, you kind of maneuver it. I mean, the tools are more limited, and you can't, you didn't have like joint systems. I think it was really, really basic stuff, but not easy.
There's one digitized voice I love in this game that I feel like I need to use in more videos. It's when you go past a save spot and it says, or a checkpoint, it's like, "Oh yeah."
Oh yeah. That's great. Plasma.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
Ow!
Yeah, that's it. There's more artwork. Oh.
Wee doggy!
Holy sphincter. It's like it's
Microcosm.
the 90s was the era of the butthole.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
We got more virtual racing, man. They loved it.
They were really into virtual racing.
We got some Gunstar Hero stuff here.
That's cool. The Sega section.
Yeah, you can really see the dithering here.
So that's how you know it's legit.
Yep. Game Fan always had the best screenshots.
Actually, right. Those are, man, these shots look awesome. Although you should see, I'll have to, some of the shots in the magazine that Richard worked on, like the Sega Mean Machines and stuff, especially the later ones, the shots are gorgeous. Like
really
huge, and it's like huge and super colorful, and they put a lot of effort into that. Like the Sega CD feature, or the Sonic CD feature they did is just amazing.
I'll have to look. I wonder if those are easy to get in the U.S. Probably not.
Probably not. He has a complete collection of all of those at his house, though, that I've looked through.
Does he ever pull them out and
I'm usually the one that pulls them out. Like, oh, I gotta look through these.
Jungle Book.
I see. At a friend's birthday party one night, we actually rented the Jungle Book.
Oh, really?
We spent the whole night and then through the morning playing it, and we did finally finish it.
It's pretty good, I guess.
I liked
right?
it. Yeah.
I mean, that was the version they did Aladdin, and they did this, and then they did. Wasn't there like a. What was it? There's one other one, but I can't think of what it was. The Lion King. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Kind of has that same look to it, I guess.
Lion King on the Game Gear was really impressive, actually.
Really?
If you've seen it, it looks great.
Aladdin on the Game Gear is pretty impressive, too.
Yeah, there's the
Sega,
or even the Disney games on the Game Gear, pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Earthworm Jim, not so much. Earthworm Jim on Game Gear is a trash fire.
Really?
And on Game Boy, it's so bad. And Aladdin on the Game Boy is.
Here's your. That's your game right there.
That's BC Racers, but it was still Chuck Rally.
I guess.
I hate that game.
Maybe is it Chuck? Maybe it's Chuck Rally on the Sega CD.
No. It's BC Racers. I have a Sega CD copy of that.
So they must have realized that the Chuck Rock name wasn't a selling point.
It does have a really cool animated intro on Sega CD. I actually think the Sega CD version's my favorite version of it. Mm-hmm. Although I've heard that the PC version runs pretty smoothly, so that actually might be the best version. It's just that most of the other versions are so choppy.
Here's Soul Star down here. It gets a little space. That's a very impressive game.
I finally got a copy of that this year. Last year in 2018, and it's a great looking game.
It's very.
There was a canceled Jaguar port and a 32X port even.
Really?
I think. So it was going elsewhere, but it's Sega CD only, I think.
It's expensive on the Sega CD.
Yeah, it is.
Tin Head.
Oh yeah.
Never played it.
Same. I have no idea.
Looks like Pulse Man and a lot of those other games from the time.
What about Wild Woody?
I never played Wild Woody. Didn't you get Wild Woody?
I didn't get it because it was $100, but I saw a copy of it.
I know the cover art.
It's something. I've seen it before. It's weird. There's Demolition Man, but not the 3DO version, which is the one everybody was hyped about.
Yeah, well, this version's supposed to be pretty good. I mean, I played it. Send a killer to stop a killer. So we were just talking about this. I think this takes place in 2019.
Yep, exactly.
And now this is now. It's look at these screenshots from.
Oh my gosh! Look
yesterday.
Oh my gosh!
And you're just.
It's out your window.
Yep.
I can see it. It's like that right now.
Vey.
Or is it? I might be wrong, but somebody told me they try to pronounce it Vi.
Vi. I mean, it's.
I actually don't know.
I've always called it Vey, but I've heard Vi before.
And see what they wrote.
Not an impressive follow-up to Lunar, for sure.
Yeah.
It is. There's a lot of random battles, but it does do an interesting thing where it kills a main character that you've had for the whole game, kills him off permanently pretty early on. And he's like a kid.
That's kind of nuts.
Yeah. It's this. I think it's this. It's well, it's Poddle with little. Well, it's not shown in the picture here, but they probably tried to save it as a.
Who developed that game? Do we know?
I don't know who actually developed it. Sims Co.
Huh. Okay. It's kind of interesting.
But yeah, I mean, I was in for that day one. I was excited about it because I thought it was going to be a repeat of the Lunar experience. But even still, it's not an awful game.
Okay.
It's not. It's got a really good soundtrack.
That's what I've heard.
Oh, you got Lunar right here.
The Silver Star.
Yeah, and this was. I think it was. This is the re-release probably because. There was an initial release that didn't have a foil stamped cover, which is what I have, and then after that came the foil stamp, and since these were probably coming out around the same time. But I just remember all these Working Designs ads, and I loved the way because later on they'd have like the film strips and stuff.
That's right.
You know, they're just like really focusing on the art for the game, selling it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was the
true role playing, CD sound, hot animations.
Great game though. I like this more than I like the remake.
Yeah. Or the remake version. We
want to do a video where we cover both versions of it.
Yeah. Do you have what is it, Magic School Lunar on the set?
I had it in my hand one time. I think I have it on my SD card, but I don't own the physical. Outrunners.
Oh yeah. This was an amazing arcade game, but a terrible Genesis conversion.
Yeah. Sega didn't even release. Yeah, Data East released it.
Yeah, they really they were pushing Superscalar stuff to the max with Outrunners. Do you remember that one? The way it looks, it's a significant upgrade over other Superscalar games. It's amazing looking.
I can't think of what the arcade game. I mean, I thought that like Power Drift was pretty impressive Superscalar wise too.
It's more impressive than that.
Because Power Drift like rotates it all at the same time too. Huh.
This would have been a late.
Was Outrunners the last one?
I don't know where it fits into the development schedule, but it was definitely a late model game.
Oh, they got Monster World 4. The thing I love about this though is that the way that they translate things is that they call Pepe Lagoon, they call him Pepe Log.
Pepe Log.
It's like
it's hilarious.
The most likable new feature in Monster World is our hero's newfound friend, the Pepe Log.
Ew, the Pepe Log.
It's like they were having fun with the name, I think, here. This game has virtually no faults.
Okay. Oh, look, they even mentioned the PS4 in here, see?
Oh, yeah. It's their treatment of Phantasy Star 4.
They put MW5 again there.
Yeah, and it happens a whole bunch. I don't know why. I mean, it says plain as day. Maybe it was the copy editor thought, like, for sure that they were wrong.
That's hilarious.
Changed everything.
That's so weird.
Good old Pepe Log, though.
The Pepe Log.
Okay, they really went all...
Wow, look at all that stuff. And then it wasn't released here.
It wasn't released here. I mean, there's like a whole nother page right here.
I wonder why they didn't release it here.
I don't know. I do not know.
Ooh, Sega previews.
Yeah.
I see Contra the Hardcore up there.
That's the Japanese version, is the hardcore, right? Not just...
Oh, the Japanese name. I can't remember exactly what it is, but yeah.
Beef and Butthead.
I can't tell. Does that have the life bars up there on the Contra shot? Or no, that's the American version. The Japanese one is the weird one with the life bars. It makes the game much easier.
Yeah.
Animaniacs there.
You got Popful Mail. But this is the Japanese release.
Uh-huh.
Such a good game. And another game that Working Designs maybe messed around a little bit too much with the game balance. You have like this huge life bar, but it only takes like 3 hits to kill you.
Yeah, that's right. The game balance is messed up, and I'm not a fan of their translation on this one.
See, I think their translation fits this game more than it does any other game.
It fits, but I think it's still good. They still want to. Although the intro, with the bomb guy or whatever is hilarious. I must admit. It's So maybe it's not so bad. Were there Bill Clinton jokes in this? Because I feel like there must have been.
No, but there was a. You ever feel less than fresh? Like some deodorant?
Yeah.
There's definitely that in there. It is a near perfect action RPG. That's what they say here. And I would agree with that. I think it's pretty up there. It's a really fun game to play. And I had an awesome time playing through it a few years ago.
This I've not played.
I don't know anything about this.
What the heck is this?
AX01.
101? AX101?
Yeah.
How strange. Yeah.
It looks like an FMV game.
Yeah, it seems it's a Sega CD game. But yeah, there it is. AX001 by Micronet and developed by Genki.
Oh.
So
I wonder if it's cheap.
Genki's best game, Super Magnetic Neo.
Oh,
Dreamcast.
yeah.
I love that game.
I never played it.
You never played that? Oh, you
No.
gotta get on that. It's like pseudo Crash Bandicoot-ish, but with a cool magnetic thing, where it's like you attach to like rails, like you use positive and negative, and that creates like momentum. So you'll like jump up, hit the positive, and you go sliding on a rail, and you let go just before you reach the end. You go flying forward.
Oh, right.
You grab onto another rail with like the positive charge, and
That's
you're
cool.
like cycling between positive, negative, and to get enemies, it's complicated in a way, but it's really fun, and the triggers control the positive and negative aspect of it.
That
It's a
sounds
cool
like
platformer.
Sounds like it could be good. It's just one of those games that popped up and I never thought about it.
That was one I bought that one on day one.
Really?
Yep, back in the day. Okay, what's this one?
You know, Heavenly Symphony.
Is that a racing game?
Yeah, it looks like an F1 game.
What a weird name. I like it though. Heavenly Symphony.
Oh, Pulse Man.
Pulse Man. Look at
Yeah, and Gunstar Heroes Game Gear.
look at the background though behind all the text and the graphics there. It's just
You mean just like
the
how...
fuzz that they. I guess it's like the Pulse Man fuzz, like TV fuzz kind of effect or something.
Oh, okay.
But it looks hideous.
Oh, you're talking about like all this
Yeah,
right here? Yeah, it's just like the
really
the
bad.
static snow. Yeah.
And also eStorm's import update, that like CGI logo they made there. That's hideous. That is really ugly copy right there.
Yeah.
Like the page
Well,
layout.
like, if you, like, just looking at some of their designs, yeah, no.
That's cool.
Just a couple of screenshots from the first level, but...
Oh no.
Isn't that your favorite game?
I hate Double Dragon 5. Oh, it's so bad. This is, oh my gosh. This game is just... So it was based on the cartoon instead of the other series. Had nothing to do with the developers of the other games. It's a fighting game, but the controls and it's abysmal to say the least.
Nobody wanted it.
And it's a shame because it seemed like, okay, Double Dragon could be back. You know, Double Dragon 5, the way they pitched it, the Shadow Falls.
So 4 was considered at time to be the fourth one.
Super
yes.
Double Dragon was basically number 4, and
Right.
it wasn't that awesome. It was alright.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, at the time, I remember hoping, when I first heard about this, that this would be, like, a proper Double Dragon game. Like, because I always felt like, okay, Super Double Dragon, a bit early, not that great. Like, what if they did something like a proper, you know, really do a 16-bit take of Double Dragon?
Right.
Like, something like Streets of Rage quality or something. And, well, it's not.
They got swords and everything in it.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Going for the gore with the buzzsaws, probably.
Yeah.
You gotta have blood in it.
It's just
I gotta get a big spread here.
It's a choppy mess of a game. It's not fun to play at all.
If you ever do a video on it, I can film this for you.
Just look at those sprites. They're just hideous. They're all terrible. Okay.
Illusion of Gaia.
Now
But that's a different logo for it.
Yeah, that is. That's interesting. This game was good.
This game is very good. I mean, it's...
I have to fix my copy of this. Because something happened to like one of the internal mounts for the circuit board. So when you push it down to the SNES, the circuit board kind of tilts and goes up into the cartridge. So I need to but you know, with the label and everything, I need to find a way to like secure the board inside. I don't know how it happened, but somehow it got cracked inside.
Is it the back or the front of the cases? I mean, you can replace it with any kind of back.
If it's, I need to double check on that. I just remembered seeing that, but yeah, that's been a problem with my cart. And it's kind of annoying.
So do you have? I mean, surely you have like Soul Blazer as well.
Yeah, like. Soul Blazer, ActRaiser, of course, is part of that.
You have. I would love to have a European version of Terra Enigma. It's expensive.
I didn't get that yet, but a friend of mine back in Germany has the big box release, which is just gorgeous. It's one of those huge. They got a bunch of games like that. Like Super Metroid came that way. I think Secret of Mana came that way.
Really?
Terra Enigma. They all came in the big like Earthbound size boxes.
Really? Oh.
And they're like really nice.
That'd be awesome. It's a very good game, and it has some. I guess all these games. I mean, you don't have Terra Enigma, but have you played through it?
I have played a decent chunk of it, but I've not finished it.
It's
pretty good.
It is really good. The stories are really sad in them.
Yeah, they are, and Terra Enigma, like the way it starts out and what happens to the world. But then I love the world map in that game with that weird like. Because
you're inside the planet.
Like inside the planet, it's like you're like moving around inside, like that pseudo 3D effect. It's very cool.
But all of them, they try to take place in a version of our own world.
Yeah,
like they're all like.
That's
well, maybe not Soul Blazer because you don't really see that kind of stuff in there, but this one definitely has like a world map that looks like our world, and so does once you get outside in Terra Enigma. That's what it's like as well. Breath of Fire
and Jungle Book. That looks like which version? That's the SNES version of Jungle Book.
Yeah,
which I like a lot less. It's not great.
I like Breath of Fire, the first one, a lot.
Nah, that's one I've never played. I never bothered with the original. The first Breath of Fire I played was 3.
Oh, okay.
On PlayStation.
This is the only one I've ever beaten out of all those two.
I played through 3. I played a little of 4, but I've not played much. And then I really liked 5, even though it's so different. Mm-hmm. 5 was my favorite.
It's all about the like repeated playthroughs, right?
Yeah, it's such a dark, foreboding atmosphere with that like. It's a nice Hitoshi Sakimoto soundtrack as well. It's one of his better works, I think, actually.
That's a game. That's pretty cheap these days too.
Yeah.
But I like this one. I think it's so interesting that this was released by SquareSoft.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
It's like they didn't have enough games of their own to pour. I don't know why.
I guess Capcom wasn't interested. Yeah,
but I mean, they had Square had a ton of their own games they could release instead. I would love to figure out the actual reason why.
Yeah,
SquareSoft decided to release
don't know. It's baffling.
Like instead of one of their own games, and it has a Ted Woolsey translation.
Oh, here we go.
Bonk.
Oh, it's super bonk.
Yeah, I never played that one. Samurai Spirits.
I like Super Bonk 2 a lot because it's got a cool look to it. Mm-hmm. Super Bonk, it's all right. Nothing. It's not the Bonk's Revenge. That's the one.
Bonk never got that same feeling, I think, on other systems, probably.
No, you're right. It was always... There's something about the PC Engine sound and the look of those games. It's very specific to that system, and I really like it.
Never played this, but is this the one they got sued for by Capcom?
Possibly.
Because they said the moves, the characters were too similar.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Oh, the rings.
I don't care.
Yeah. Beavis and Butthead and Fatal Fury Special.
Yeah, I love Beavis and Butthead, but not the game. Well, Beavis and Butthead had one truly great game.
Which is?
The Virtual Stupidity. It was a point-and-click adventure game on the PC.
Oh, okay.
It was in the style of the LucasArts games, actually, with full voiceovers and everything, which is perfect for Beavis and Butthead. Because you click on things and you're doing the wrong combinations of items, so you get funny quips, and it works really well. That was a good one. This one, though...
They almost try to make it look like it could have been a point and click.
Yeah, it's not. You go through the infinite cafeteria and stuff you go to stages based on the school and outdoors, and it's like the point where it really hits home is when you go into the cafeteria and you realize you walk past the food dispersal area 8 times or something.
Fatal Fury Special. SNES
previews. What do we got here?
We got Sparkster here.
Oh.
Is this
That's the
Wild
Wild and
Wacky
Wacky. Yeah, the Tiny Toon sports game.
Prehistoric Man. Pocky and Rocky too.
Oh yeah, Pocky and Rocky.
Oh, here in
There
Final
it is.
Fantasy VI.
Before it got the change to Final Fantasy 3.
But I mean,
Or
you see this is like the first game that used all the colors on screen at one time, right? Isn't that what they?
Oh, I don't know about that. I have to double check that.
But it's the first one that I really remember doing that because it used like the full on screen colors at one time, right? Like
how would you do that? Because the problem, I mean, I need to double check that.
Yeah.
The thing that's tricky about it, so the way the Super NES works is there's a limitation of it. You can use, it can display X number of colors at once, but you can only use like 4 colors per tile or sprite or something like that. I think it was. So you're still they'd have to be very creative with their tile and sprite or tile usage to make it. I mean, I suppose there's something feasible there. It sounds like a demo scene programming kind of thing.
So this is the first SNES game to use 256 on-screen colors.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Like I just remember that because this and Chrono Trigger did that same thing.
I'd like to know. It's not a fact I've actually looked closely into. I'd like to know technically how that would be achieved.
Because it's a pretty significant jump over the graphics of the previous ones.
Yeah. Shame we never got FF5 here at the time, though.
Yeah.
That was a fun one, too.
This is probably my favorite game in the series. I feel like I need to replay it again.
It's good. I do like it.
What?
It's on the right there.
It's Kevtriss's favorite game.
Yep.
Equinox.
You see at the top there? That's pretty much Kevtriss, right? Where do you think Kevtriss is at right now?
He's right here. No, he's not. He's like right here.
Yeah.
Maybe if we ever see him, we can get him to recreate this ad.
Oh, that would be awesome. No, he actually, like, seeing him talk about the game and show us the game, it actually looks pretty damn cool.
I went and bought it after I saw it.
Yeah, I'm impressed. It's one I was not really aware of, but it's pretty sweet looking. And the music is pretty good, and it's a neat little game.
Who is your favorite character in Final Fantasy VI?
Let me think here. You pointed to Sabin there.
Yeah.
I always liked him. He was cool.
Yeah, he had the Street Fighter move input, right?
Exactly. You had to input like the fighting game moves.
Yeah, he is my favorite character too. And I liked
technically Kefka, I guess, though.
Oh.
Not, he was cool. It was like, that was the first, one of the earlier games I remember there being like a really memorable kind of villain that would keep kind of returning and doing some pretty crazy stuff.
And especially since 4 or 2, it had like this main bad guy that shows up at the very, very end. Yeah. I love 2. Like 2 is a very, very memorable experience for me.
Oh.
Cotton 100%.
Look at Wild Tracks.
Oh.
Which is Star Race FX.
It was it actually full on called Wild Tracks?
Pretty sure it was. Wild Tracks.
Oh, we got Wild Guns down here.
Oh man, I wish I had owned that copy
or
a cartridge of that.
Me too.
It would have been great. Cotton. Cotton is a series that I like to think of as the expensive series. Where every Cotton game seems to be very expensive.
Like the one Cotton game that I really want is the one. It looks like it's gonna like storm or something else. The one I really want is the Cotton 2 on the Saturn. He uses the 4 meg cart.
Oh yeah.
Really a gorgeous looking game. Oh, here we go.
Oh no. So let's see so Raiden, not a great port. There's Evolution Dino Dudes. Don't love it. Cybermorph's not that bad. But this game. The name is Trevor McFur, and it is garbage. I've said it before. This is the game that almost made me want to give up doing a Jaguar episode. Like, I hated it so much that...
How far did you get into it?
I played it for a while. I beat several of the planets. And after I finished playing it, I threw the cart back in the bin, and I didn't touch the Jaguar for another 2 months.
Wow.
It really turned me off. Thankfully, it's not, representative of the Jag as a whole. I mean, the Jag has some cool stuff on it, for sure. that's just one of the worst.
Where it was clear that they had to rush it out too.
Yeah,
Probably.
And that must have been a super rushed project because, I mean, a lot of those guys had worked on, I think they had worked on Stun Runner previously and some other good arcade games.
Yeah.
Like, stuff that really was cool. Like, a Stun Runner port at launch on the Jag actually would have been pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been amazing to see, like, an arcade perfect Stun Runner. But no. Didn't happen.
Yeah, that game has never really gotten... besides the Lynx, I think
there's the Lynx version, which is great, and then there's the version in Midway Arcade Treasures 3.
Right.
Which is, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's interesting it never got any more release in it, because it was... You had like you'd sit on
Here we go, some more... So Wolfenstein 3D for the Jag is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That was the port that Atari, they had worked with John Carmack for Doom, and John was interested in working on the system, and then like one of the guys at Atari, I forget his name actually, but apparently John reached out to him like after the weekend or something and said, "Oh, I uploaded, or I had something for you that you wanted to check out as a surprise," and he had done like a port of Wolfenstein 3D in like a weekend to the Jag, and then they like negotiated the rights, I think, to release it after that.
Really?
So it's just like a little side thing that John Carmack did when he was helping with Doom.
That's
on
cool.
The Jag, and then it was just, so they got that, then they got a John Carmack made port of Doom, which was a great console version. It's the second best of that era. Like PlayStation's my favorite, but then Jaguar's after that.
Interesting. I mean, I've only played the PC version, the shareware version of it.
Yeah, no, this one has like new high-res weapons and stuff. Like the weapon sprites are large. And more detailed, and it fills the screen. It's a full screen version of the game as opposed to like the PC, which was in a smaller window.
What about this? What is this?
Oh, I hate Club Drive.
Oh, look at that logo. You can't
even read it. This game is so bad. It is one of the worst on the Jag. But I've had some comedy value with it. A friend of mine back in the day, we were playing around with Jag stuff and kind of laughing at some of the games like Club Drive. Played it in 2-player split screen mode. So there were certain objects in the environment that would sort of push the hardware a little too far. So in the garage stage, there's a traffic cone, and if you let the camera look at the traffic cone, the frame rate drops to about 2 frames per second. So what I would do is I would like turn my car to stand next to the cone, and then when my friend was getting close to the next objective, I would just rotate the car to look at the traffic cone, and all of a sudden the frame rate would go to like 2. And you'd be like, I can't drive.
That's fun though. It almost looks like a hard driving. Like
so it's a bad game, but it's kind of a hilarious one. So you can have some fun with it.
You're just like having fun with like how bad it is, really.
It's so bad. What else we got though?
Red line.
What the heck is that? Checkered? I can't tell if that's
pole position. Probably not, right? Not really, but.
Wait, it says it's from Rebellion, so they released Checkered Flag. I think this is an early version of Checkered Flag that was not released. In the final game, though, they say is moving it around 25 frames per second there. Yeah, the final game is pretty much like 10. The problem with it, so Stunt Race FX runs similarly to Checkered Flag on the Jag. The problem is Stunt Race FX was, they designed the game with that limitation in mind. So the way the controls and the tracks are designed, you can play it. Like, they know the frame rate's low, and it's made that way. But Checkered Flag is a very twitchy, super fast game that also runs at that low of a frame rate. So you really can't react properly to turns or control your car well because the controls are bad. They're poorly tuned for the frame rate. So that's a shame. But Flashback, though, Flashback's great.
Yeah.
That's a solid version of Flashback. It has all the nice, the original cutscenes, not the CGI ones. Mm-hmm. So that's obviously preferred.
It's a cool game.
They run smoother than the Genesis and SNES versions. So that's good. I like that one. What else we got for the Jag here?
It's Doom and Aliens vs. Predator.
Ultra Vortec there.
Oh, is that the fighting game?
It's kind of fun. It runs at a bad frame rate, but it's fun. Doom, of course, is excellent on the Jag. See, they don't know. It's jamming at 30 frames. It's not 30 frames. It tops out at like 20, and it can drop below that, but it's still playable. And of course, Alien vs. Predator is even lower. That's like 15 frames per second most of the time.
But you look at that, it looks great in screenshots, though.
It still kind of looks alright in motion, like in person, I think. Like, it's not that smooth, but it does have a cool, gritty look to it that I like. Especially the marine levels, they look pretty cool. It's just the game itself isn't great.
I remember that being pitched as, like, that was going to be the must-have game for the system.
It's pretty much a Wolfenstein clone.
Yeah. Oh, I got 3DO stuff. Shockwave. Invasion Earth. It's like one of those EA games that just never got...
That one's alright. I played
anywhere
that.
else.
That one, that's pretty good. Shockwave and Shockwave 2. I like it.
They have like the FMV scenes, like with the actors and stuff, right? Oh, we're gonna run out of battery here.
So Super Wing Commander.
This is 3DO. I never played this one, and this is before Wing Commander 4
or 3
when they really focused on the Mark Hamill FMVs.
Yep. That's interesting. I would like to check this version out sometime.
It does have the character graphics. I remember seeing the first ones in the first 2 in magazines and thinking that the graphics like of the Kilrathi was really impressive looking.
Yeah, for sure.
How about the what are your thoughts on the Wing Commander movie?
It sure is something.
Yeah, it has great music.
That's true.
That theme is
that's great.
Beyond anything that it should have been that theme should have been in a much better movie.
Look at that! They got Mega Race, Demolition Man.
So Demolition Man was kind of looks like Dynamite Duke kind of game.
So it changed.
Like a gallery shooter.
You would start out with a gallery shooter where you'd see a first-person viewpoint of the gun. You'd move around and shoot, and then there was sequences where like side view fighting game, kind of thing.
Really.
And then there was there's actually a real first-person shooter segments that are like 3D where you move around in first person.
Really.
And there might be one others, I can't remember, but it changes gameplay types as you play.
That's cool. That's cool. And there's we got Road Rash. Just get out of here. There we go.
What's that?
I was just getting out of the. I was still in the menu.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to be able to see that it was. We had audio levels. Yeah, Road Rash.
Petanque.
Microcosm. That's another game I had never played.
Psygnosis made, yeah. Okay.
Liberty of Death. I've never been a big fan of those kind of period piece like that, and I have Uncharted Waters. I think just does nothing for me. There's the Tetsujin you were talking about.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. First person shooter.
Have you played it?
I have played it, and it doesn't. It's all right. It's very Wolfenstein, in that the level design is limited. It's a lot of 90-degree angles from what I recall, and single height ceilings. It's all right though.
A lot of 3DO stuff in here.
Well, what is Powers? What is this?
How about Burning Soldier?
I see an RPG down there. That must be one of the ones I was thinking of.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing pictures of that. What is Burning Soldier?
Burning Soldier. Oh yeah, I think it's an FMV game.
You almost think it was like a Star Soldier game. Dr. Hauser.
All right.
You like this one?
Dr. Hauser. Wait, what is?
It's the Japanese.
Oh game. Yeah, I forgot about this one. It's very Alone in the Dark-ish, isn't it?
Yeah, it says it plays like out of this world. Yeah. The what are your thoughts on the flashback sequel, Fade to Black?
At the time, I liked it a lot. I thought it was impressive, but it's pretty janky now.
Who was the guy? Did the same guy direct that? Make that?
I think so. I'm fairly sure he did. Oh wait. No. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was the same. Like Paul Cuisset or something?
Yeah.
I think it was.
I think it's like the sports stuff does not a lot for me. Like Ken Griffey, that was kind of a big deal though.
Yeah, Ken Griffey.
a Nintendo developed
Mm-hmm.
sports game.
Okay.
MLB. That was before Triple Play.
Yeah. Super Bases Loaded 2. It's a mistake to put sequel numbers on sports games.
Yeah.
Just in case they become popular.
Oh, yeah. Soccer. Andretti Racing.
Okay.
Instant Replay. Baseball Stars Professional. I have that one. I have the MBS card.
Not the amateur version. It's professional.
But not as good as Baseball Stars 2. Adam's Family. That was an overhead one. Adam's Family
Like
Values.
Fester's Quest.
Yeah.
World Heroes 2 Jet.
I have that too. I have the Neo Geo version of that. World Heroes 2 was one of the few fighting games that I enjoyed outside of Street Fighter.
That's cool. I didn't play much World Heroes, to be honest. I think I played it a few times at an arcade.
Yeah. I always like Kim Dragon. He's the character because he has this attack that makes him a fire around him is shaped like a dragon.
Japan now.
Yeah, we got the Street Fighter 2 movie.
Oh yeah.
That was I was very excited for that. So this game this movie was released in the U.S.
Yeah.
And there's a part at the beginning where it shows Ryu fighting Sagat, and the logo kind of comes in and comes together. This just says Street Fighter 2, and my former boss that I worked with in New York is the guy that made that.
Really?
That the Street Fighter 2. He had no idea. But he had all this 3D animation
Gear.
experience. Experience. Like he worked at a place that did some. Like he would talk about how he'd have to bring his workstations to different offices, and they'd connect them all together with big cords, and they'd plug into these big cords to connect them all together. But he did that.
That's so cool.
And he just thought it was it's this little thing, but I was like, I watched that when it came out on video.
That's so crazy. Okay, what do we got next? Is Dynamite Heady?
Japan now it's national.
Treasure
Look at that's a Dynamite Heady retrospective.
Yeah, for this year I've been thinking about doing a proper a full treasure episode.
Oh,
I really love their games, and they're technical powerhouses.
Would you do the stuff like Gradius 5 and stuff?
I don't know if I'd go that far. Maybe though, because there's not that many treasure games. But there's enough, so we'd have to see. But I definitely would want to do the, Genesis and then Saturn. I guess whatever they did on PlayStation, like Nakugaki Showtime.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they did Dreamcast, N64. Yeah,
Mischief Makers.
Mischief Makers, Sin and Punishment, and Bangayo.
What's interesting about them is for the longest time they were basically anti-sequel too.
Yep.
I think the Gunstar Superheroes was their first sequel.
That's right.
It says, I can't believe people in the U.S. want us to make a sequel to Gunstar Heroes. It's like America never told us that our game was popular in the U.S. So this is look at this. And it's just, they had just finished Dynamite Heady.
That's amazing, actually. Wow. Oh yeah, they had to change a couple things for the U.S. market.
Oh really? Does it say that here?
And you can see stuff like this doll here. It's different in the U.S. version.
Really?
There's a lot of change. They got rid of the story sequence things with the text.
Really?
There was a lot.
Is that all there in the Japanese version though?
Yeah. But some of the stuff though, like the story text, I'm not sure that removing that's a bad idea, because it's kind of funny, but it slows down the pace a little bit. Like at the end of certain levels, and you have a few dialogue boxes to read.
Right.
I feel like the game works better without any text or minimal text.
Because all that stuff is kind of delivered through the gameplay
right.
anyway.
The game is so weird anyway. It just feels kind of crazy to be bouncing around with no extra context. So I kind of prefer that aspect, but I don't love all the art changes, and also the U.S. version is much harder.
Oh, okay. But beatable. It took
beatable.
you a while.
It took me a lot of work to beat that, but I had a lot of fun playing it.
Do you think that... Is it a game where once you kind of learn it, you can go through it without...
Once you really learn it, you can get through it pretty well.
Okay. That's cool. I don't mind stuff like that.
It feels good when you start to nail it, actually. So yeah, this is a.
You just got to go
What's
into.
to say about the CD-ROM here? You have any bring others? We do have plans for both systems. Saturn for sure. It's. Treasure's never. That's right. We've never done one. How about 32X? I think this system is only for the U.S. market. There's a possibility we might program enhanced versions of what we have released so far. I don't think.
That would be cool though.
I'm not sure it would have worked well because the system's not that well suited to these types of games, but maybe they could have done it.
Treasureland Adventure, talk about it too, which is a very, very good game. I think very easy.
Yeah.
But it's a McDonald's game.
I guess Light Crusader came out after that. Light Crusader was like the last one Treasure did.
Yeah, I Light Crusader's weird.
It is.
Like it's
like
not particularly good.
It's not bad though. It's got a cool feel to it.
Yeah.
Cool music and it's interesting. It's my least favorite of those games, but
yeah,
it's okay.
Oh, we got. So this was before. Yeah, we got Wipeout for the PS-X. So they're still calling it. So, do you hate the name PSX?
I don't mind it.
I mean, I like it a lot.
I think it's fine.
A lot of people get on me when I refer to it as that from time to time. But I mean, everything referred to it as the PSX at the time. That's
right. I assume that was derived from the fact that PlayStation was that Super NES add-on thing, and just calling it the X like denotes it as like the new hotness or something.
Yeah. Is Blue Lightning on the Jag any good?
That was on Jag CD, I think. And
I
don't think it's very good.
Because Blue Lightning, that was kind of like the killer app on the Lynx for a while.
Yeah, Blue Lightning on the Lynx is better than the Jag CD version.
You like Flink? I have Flink.
Flink.
Good animation. It's you can tell just by looking at it. This is a it's just like you can tell it's a British game, British developed.
Yeah, I actually have I think a pseudo sequel for PlayStation, which is the one where you play as like a lemming.
Oh,
I'm forgetting the name, but there's like a pseudo sequel to this on the PlayStation.
Really?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I never even knew that. It'd be completely news to me.
It's an interesting game, and it's very difficult though. But and this was also Flink was also on it was The Adventures of Lomax.
Oh, Bernie Lomax, The Adventures of Bernie Lomax.
This one where you played as like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of expensive now, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I got a copy from GameSwap years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it was released in the U.S.
It was. What do we got here?
Oh, is this Sega Sonic the Hedgehog down here?
Oh, yeah. Which didn't come to 32X.
Yeah.
Project Reality.
Didn't come to anything. Oh, Project Reality.
PSX. Man, this is like...
Man, Project Reality. Remember it was like when Project Reality, then Ultra 64, and then Nintendo 64. But I mean...
Oh, look, the PCFX.
Oh, yeah?
Interesting.
These are all the systems here, though. It's like a Super 32X?
Yeah. This is... Wow.
So that must have just been... It's called the Super 32X. But I forgot all about the Project Reality name.
That's right. Resolution min and then max 1024 by 1024. Uh-huh. What a weird thing. That was a fun time though, just in terms of just
speculating.
All the speculation. Look at how many platforms there are right there.
I know.
That's a lot.
Well, it's easy to see. I mean, you got 3DO, Way of the Warrior.
Yep.
Which is
the Rob Zombie soundtrack.
Thunderkiss 65.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Way of the Warrior. They were pitching that for a long time as like that was gonna be like the big savior for the system, and that's Naughty Dog's first game, and
it's not their first game.
Really?
They've done Genesis games.
Oh.
But that was like one of the first ones that somehow got them a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Because of it was like in all the stores as well. I remember going to Media Play back in the day, and they always had Way of the Warrior running. So you'd always see that like the yin yang thing with the skull talking.
I mean, it was an impressive looking game, and it is not fun to play.
No, it's terrible.
But like the character graphics look pretty good. I thought I heard about them like making in their bedroom or something.
Yeah, they like green screened everybody.
Yeah. Yep, it's funny.
Or blue screened, I guess.
Probably.
Probably.
Before green, and yeah, this blue screen was the thing. But look at even like the 64, like these 3D rooms.
That's crazy.
Just like reality.
Project reality.
Is they have is a true color from a palette of 16.7 million.
I see.
Is that even
for which one?
For the N64 Project Reality.
I believe so. I can't remember exactly.
So you probably get a kick out of like reading these kind of things, like
the
hardware specs. I mean, is there anything that is like besides like the resolution? Is there anything else in here that seems like completely?
I mean, it
wrong?
seems like they're on. Yeah, I mean, it seems close enough. It's clear they don't, like the people writing this don't actually know what most of that means.
Yeah, they're just like putting it in there. That's what they told us. That's what we think. The 30 will finally give gamers a taste of the arcade that they've been looking for.
Like, I think for the longest time, people always used to do like they don't even do it there. But
I like these though.
What's that?
Davey says the Saturn will reign. People will see a rendered Sonic and become helpless. Piggy banks will break all over America. Project Reality will hit and compete but not surpass. Due to the late '95 release, Sony and Nintendo will fight for the number 2 spot. Jaguar will be close number 3, with a 3DO close behind.
Does he mention the PS1?
Yeah, he says it'd be a close. Sony and Nintendo will fight for the number 2 spot.
Sony and Nintendo, right? Wow.
They had no idea. Nobody did, really.
How could you know? Sega was hot at the time.
Oh, other stuff. This is like their version of Quarterman.
Yep. Look at that. I love that cyber skeleton.
Yeah.
He is awesome.
And some. Oh, we got CDX over here in different systems. Summer CES. Upon us. Postmeister. I love talking about envelope art a lot.
Envelope art is great.
Yeah, a lunar one. Just want a good chance to know that the Sega CD has a long way to go. In fact, all your readers who plan on buying a Sega CD will take my advice. Save up $30 more and buy a Jaguar. It's 4,000 times better.
Wow. 4,000 times better?
Atari's gonna conquer the world, and I'm behind them all the way.
Oh my goodness. I bet that guy still posts on Atari Age.
He's probably the guy who made the Jaguar
comparison video.
The Doom comparison.
Yep.
And then here we are, the diehard game fan shop.
Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more screenshots.
They have the Mega Jet up there with Virtua Racing sticking out of it. Look at that.
The Mega Jet?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, is handheld Mega Drive? What is that?
It was basically originally made, I believe, for like airlines and such.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what the Nomad would be derived from.
Interesting.
So, which curiously then, if that's the case, then I'm surprised that Virtua... Wait, I can't remember. Did Virtua Racing work in the Nomad? I may have featured that in my video. I just can't remember. I must have. I think it does work. Okay.
Would you like to have one of those? It has the controllers built in too.
I mean, it would be neat to have as just a curiosity, but it's not that exciting. It's kind of cool, but not worth whatever's being asked for it, which I'm sure is a lot.
I think Greg Stewart might have one.
The stunt race effects screenshots really get me, or Wild Tracks effects, because they always, again, they show them as being like a full 4x3 image.
Yeah.
But even with the HUD on this real Super NES, it's a tiny, small window with a huge black border around it. So you don't. It's not actually a full screen game like that. Like the gameplay window is pretty small.
So it's window box and
It's
the
window
game
box.
is window box inside of that.
Yeah, and then the game is inside that. So, you know.
I mean, outside of that, do you think it's that big of a jump over Star Fox?
No. I mean, well, they're doing more ambitious things than Star Fox. Because Star Fox, I mean, the ground was usually just like shaded colors with dots. Mm-hmm. And this actually has like real polygonal tracks.
Oh, okay.
But it runs pretty bad.
I think we're about wrapping it up here.
Yeah.
There's GameSoft. Bunch of games, Power Rangers. Game Fan, subscribe. Oh, there's a couple more. Just the ads.
The Dragon's Den. Okay.
Cool World.
You have to experience the Dragon's Den to believe it.
T2, I
wonder if it's still in business.
Terminator 2, and sounds like one of those kind of places you drive past on the highway.
Yeah, exactly.
For truckers to stop at, because those are like, what are those called? The Lion's Den.
Exactly.
And Bugs Bunny, Rabbit Rampage. I played it. Yeah, I got this at Electronics Boutique store number 126, which is the store that I worked at.
Oh, that's awesome.
126 in the Chautauqua Mall in Jamestown, New York.
There it is. Yeah. That's it. That's another.
Probably going to close down in the next few years, I'm guessing.
It's still there?
Yeah. But Sears just went out of business, which was an Anchor store there, and so did Bonton, which was also an Anchor. So like those both went out of business in the same year, basically. So, there it is.
That is a great magazine.
It is.
Although I think the EGM issue is better.
Yeah, they both had their positives. I think all these are fun to do.
They're all fun. They're all great. Good stuff.
Thanks for joining me for that, for doing that with me.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.